February 5th, Shopify terminated the Deepstate Mapping project's online store without explaining their reason other than saying it had violated their acceptable use policy. We all know the real reason. This information is dangerous to the powers that be. If it continues to go viral, it could lead to their downfall. The website shutdown is just added proof of this information's integrity. The store is gone for now, but I'm working to figure out a way to rebuild it on a more secure platform. The website has already been relaunched as a non-profit source for free downloads and information. So please go to the website, download the QWeb and other diagrams, and spread them. I no longer even have a financial incentive in this. We just need to wake people up as quickly as possible, otherwise humanity is toast. Follow me on Instagram. Master Conspiracy is my handle. That's my main platform for sharing memes. Join the Deepstate Mapping Project research group on Facebook and throw in your own 2 cents. I don't know when the Deepstate Mapping Project store will return. It may not even be a sustainable business model due to the powers that be, but I will make sure the free downloads are available as long as I'm still breathing. I really feel that the future depends on these continuing to go viral. Let's see, how much time do we have? What time is it?
Well, you have about 6...
Okay, I can take a few questions.
7 minutes, yeah.
Anyone have a question?
Do you believe the reset in the U.S. dollar with the upcoming economic collapse in the U.S.?
I try not to say I have any concrete beliefs. I've certainly heard a lot of evidence towards that, and I would hope so. I'm not really deep into financial and money-related inner workings, so I couldn't really give you any probably deeper knowledge that you've already heard for yourself. I recently watched a documentary called The Dawn of the Golden Age on YouTube, which talks a lot about, it's either called like Gesera or Nesera. Supposedly there's like a huge trust of money that's been hidden, and there's legislation to release this to humanity that's been blocked for several decades. So hopefully that will be released, but you know, I'm not, some of my friends have actually bought cars expecting this to happen, and I'm not one of those. But, so I wouldn't bank on it, but let's be hopeful, and you know, yeah, don't be pessimistic about it for sure. Anyone else? Yeah?
Just recently, a lot of activists who were successful at being called control opposition, which is set this kind of confusion about regions. What's your view?
Who's controlled? I mean, none of us really know. Even some of the people I like the most, who I won't, say their name right out, but it's like, even them, I wonder if they're controlled opposition or not, even if, we're friends and I like their personality. But I say the more you know someone, the more you can tell if they're a controlled opposition or not, or if they come out on a certain subject in a certain way, you tend to get called controlled opposition. For example, when Alex Jones came out against QAnon, saying QAnon was a LARP, a lot of people then labeled him controlled opposition. Now, I have a lot of respect for Alex Jones because he has awakened so many people to the bigger picture, even though I don't think he's giving the full picture. So even if someone's controlled opposition, you could take what's valuable from what they have to offer, but then, keep doing research for yourself and get a bigger picture. Does that make sense?
Has the rabbit hole taken you down to researching other nations like Russia, UK, Australia, New Zealand?
So I would like to do all of that, especially researching China and Japan, because a lot of people have looked at the QWeb and sort of had the criticism that this is more focused on the Western world, which is definitely a valid criticism. I think there's a whole other side of the QWeb that would be China, Japan, and I would like to explore that eventually. It might not all fit on one piece of paper anymore. I think part of the reason why the QWeb has been very successful is because I fit it to one piece of 8.5 by 11 paper, and that allowed people to spread it more easily. A lot of people who have done diagrams like this in the past, if you do a timeline all in one direction, it becomes very, very long. So there was actually an artist named Mark Lombardi who was creating diagrams like this in the 1990s. They were not digital, they were like pencil diagrams. They were beautifully done, had many very specific names on them. He made some about the Clintons, some about the Bushes. He ended up being dead, most likely suicided, because they really had a strong grip on power then. But the problem with his diagrams is you can't even find a single image of them online that are actually legible because they're so long that it's like a low-resolution image. Also that it was the 90s and nobody has scanned them and been generous enough to make them available. But yeah, if anyone wants to help me research the Asian conspiracies or Australian, Russia, There's definitely a lot more to the picture. I mean, as much as this looks complete, there is always more to the picture. Yeah?
Could you speculate on who's making these posts? You think it's one person or a collection of people?
I think it's a collection of people, definitely connected to the military. Like I said, people originally associated Flynn with it somewhat. That speech that Flynn gave where he mentioned the digital army. When I saw that speech pretty late into the game here, I was like, wow, like he really spelled it out in the speech, like exactly what they're planning to do with QAnon. It was a speech it wasn't a very important venue where he gave this speech, but if you look it up, it's probably on YouTube, General Flynn, Digital Soldier Speech, you'll be able to find it. But yeah, like at one time I thought maybe it was like Ivanka behind it, or like Melania, like or some people say Barron Trump. That's my favorite theory, is that Barron Trump is behind it. So I'll leave that one there. Yeah, in the back.
Is there a possibility that QAnon is controlled opposition?
So that's a good question. What's QAnon and Trump's endgame? Is it really positive for humanity? Is it an elaborate plan to, make people think that we're making progress, and then like surprise, like we all get mowed down by the 5G? It's a possibility. But I think that the fact that they've awoken up so many people and started such a large movement, even if it was unintentional, it's backfired on them. So if it was a psyop or whatever, it has backfired on them, and that too many people have awoken and taken this movement into their own initiative, which is what I'm encouraging everyone here to do as well. Don't just take my advice. Like, think for yourself about what's the best way to counteract this system that's in place and break this slave system that we're living under. If that's good enough for you.
One more question.
Yeah.
Who is QAnon, or what is QAnon?
Well, someone just asked that. One more?
Yeah,
I just,
Yeah?
did they? Did he ask it? I got it.
A little louder.
So what? I have not heard of the CDT place. Sounds very interesting. So they're basically like high-tech CDs from Atlantis. Yeah, we gotta get our hands on those. Then we'll know the full picture. So thank you, everyone.